Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Alhamdulillah, nahmadu wa nusalli ala rasulil karim. Pengurusi, menteri-menteri, saudara sahabat saya, Sri Nazri dan isteri dan ahli parlimen dan rakan-rakan saya muliakan. Terima kasih kerana sambutan yang sangat permai. Saya berkunjung dah berpuluh negara. Nampaknya di sini sambutannya agak itu istimewa sedikit. Karena penyertaannya itu dari mahasiswa, dari rakan yang diaspora di sini dan dengan pegawai. Dan alhamdulillah nampak ada beberapa kemajuan sementara kita sibuk dengan urusan diplomasi dan perbincangan APEC. Kita juga dapat penerimaan pelaburan tambahan dalam usaha kita meningkatkan keupayaan Malaysia dalam bidang transformasi digital. Kita bicara soal transisi tenaga dan mengangkat martabat ekonomi dan rakyat kita. So let me just express my gratitude, appreciation to those who have worked so hard. I didn't realize that those students, engineering and IT and computer science, spend so much time dancing. And mind you, they did extremely well. Now let me just make some reference to the APEC conference. This is an annual conference and chaired by President Joe Biden. And the focus, of course, economic development, inclusivity, resilience, sustainability, the new mantra. And the team worked indefatigably hard to ensure that these issues will benefit the region and Malaysia in particular, together with our colleagues in ASEAN. These are, of course, challenging times. As I've said in some of the earlier references, they were dealing with post-normal times, very chaotic. Chaotic in the sense that there's no certainty. Problems, economic, social, political, climate, erupt in an unprecedented manner. So it is chaotic. It is complex. And the complexity demands not only the resolve, determination, but also the capacity to think outside the box, to get the entire team, those who had some experience and the young, together to try and first understand the complexity, but also be able to deal with the new challenges. Then you have contradictions. You don't have a standard norm. So how do we resolve? In Malaysia, we crafted the Madani strategy, philosophy, and action program, including the economic strategy, which requires our understanding what sustainability is about. We can't talk about poverty eradication, reduce gross inequality between the very rich and the poor, to ensure that development is equitable, not only in the cities, but also in the rural heartland, in Penampang, in the rural heartland, all over the country. We cannot manage if we do not have the capacity and the focus to ensure that there is economic development. For a trading nation like Malaysia, economic development means domestic investments and foreign direct investments. And the investments have to be focused on new areas, which is new to us, more familiar to the diaspora, in terms of, as I've said, digital transformation, renewable energy or energy transition, and the new industrial master plan. This can only be achieved through hard work as a team. Reduce the rancorous exchanges, contentious debates on race, on extreme interpretation or understanding of religious beliefs, enmity, discord. Focus on the people, focus on the need of the nation, and new investments that can propel the economy. We have the capacity. We have done it before in a limited sense. We can do it better if we all work together, including you that have experience here, and we want to appeal. I want to appeal on behalf of the people of Malaysia, which include you, to try and work out a formula how you can continue your operations here, but always think how, through your expertise and experience, benefit the economy in Malaysia and the rakyat in Malaysia. But that's the central message I want to have. You want to talk about justice, compassion, freedom, the economy must thrive. But in order that we don't lose sight of our central problems, what are our problems? It's unity in diversity. We don't choose to be Malays or Chinese or Kadazan or Indians. But we love this country, and we know the country can survive and thrive if we show love and compassion towards one another. Yes, there are bound to be differences, but these differences are not reasons for us to sow the seed of discord. These differences can be a source of strength. And if we seriously mean to have this sort of understanding, tolerance, then you must have compassion. We are born as human beings. Intellectual rigor, with compassion, with a sense of justice. Which religion talks about compassion and justice and marginalize or compartmentalize people? And no, you see, this obscure, narrow interpretation would lead to this discord. But you really understand and practice, then you realize that in order to survive, you must show compassion. This was lacking in some parts of our country and the world. You have contradiction. That's why in my intervention, even in front of President Joe Biden this afternoon, I said, I am fortunate, I'm of course very thankful and appreciative of the President. Even when he was chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and I was just badly assaulted in the police lockup and thrown to jail. And here comes the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, Joe Biden, at that time Senator Joe Biden, coming up very strongly in defense of Anwar, the prisoner of conscience. And I reminded him, for why? Why did you do that? Because you believe in democracy, you believe in justice, you believe in human rights. So I said, concomitant to that, why can't we take this across nations and board and do whatever is necessary to stop the killing, murder, destruction of countries, of people, of women, children and babies, including in Gaza. Well, I had the courage or conviction to say that because I represent Malaysia. And Malaysia is a multiracial, multi-religious country. Yes, we do encounter problems, but we, in this Perpaduan government, or Madani, we want to mature as a country, as a democracy, and understand and value, respect the right of every single citizen of Malaysia. Which means precisely the correct values, the sense of justice or compassion towards one another. Why do we need to work hard? You should be comfortable. But we work hard because we love this country. And I believe truly and strongly that this country, Malaysia, can move up the ladder as one of the great economic stories in the region. And I must thank you for your support. And again, reiterate the point I referred to earlier, that other than being comfortable what we're doing now, think outside the box. With your experience, your training, identify areas that what we can do. And advise us. We don't claim to know everything, to have the expertise in dealing all subjects. But together, we can manage. Because, yes, I am a dreamer, I'm an idealist, but I want, inshallah, God willing, to be able to translate this into action and prove a point that Malaysians deserve better governance, better leadership, and we must live in a country that can excel and be respected by all nations of the world. Terima kasih.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum, Datuk Seri. There's a saying that says, great mind thinks alike. I have prepared 6 questions to ask you, just to be prepared. But you've pretty much addressed all the questions that I wanted to ask you. So I'm just going to go straight to the point. We have many other great minds in this room. So jadi saya ingin menjemput para hadirin sekalian untuk mengambil peluang ini untuk menanyakan soalan atau memberikan pandangan terus kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri kita. Kita telah menyediakan 2 mikrofon di dalam ballroom ini untuk tuan-tuan, puan-puan dan juga pelajar-pelajar mengambil kesempatan untuk bertanyakan soalan kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. Dipersilakan. Oh, we have a question over there. So could you please make your way, or you could, yeah. Could you please introduce yourself, nama, asal, dan tugas anda sekarang di Amerika Syarikat?
Nak cakap Melayu kau cakap orang putih?
Up to you. Whichever that is comfortable. Yeah.
First and foremost, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I started actually asking the first question to PMX.
Nama?
Nama saya Murad bin Wahab, asal dari Melaka, mak bapa ada lagi. Okay, itu je But don't mess with Melaka. So first and foremost, it is a privilege and honor to be here with all the fellow Malaysians and dignitaries, and especially with the PM. And before I ask my questions, I just wanted to say this is like a dream comes true. When I was a little, I saw when the PM won and been selected as the PM, I was in tears of joy. That the changes that I was so looked forward for decades, finally it happened. So congratulations. It's your struggle, your patience and perseverance paid off. So let me tell you that I've been here in the United States for 23 years. I have a firm, a boutique business finance consulting firm here in San Francisco. a small one, but what we do is actually we facilitate access to financing to help domestics and international companies. We work with very few select lenders and investors that based in Latin America, UK, Canada, and the US. So I wanted to speak to the right people. I know Tengku Zafrul, but hopefully that for investment to help Malaysia to propel. So we are looking for quality project, infrastructure, whether that is port, railways, in the healthcare, digitals. So my lenders are looking for those types of financing. So minimum is about 100 million and maximum to $5 billion. And as a Malaysian, I'm very proud. I've attended a few APECs, and one of them meeting with President Marcos recently. I was very impressed with the presentations of what the countries looks like in the economic. I wasn't get invited for Malaysia, unfortunately. So my question is just that PMX is that I really appreciate how can I help? Because I have the lenders are looking for right project for investment. But of course, they have to be qualified. So how can I be of help? Thank you.
Terima kasih. We have MIDA officers here, you have the embassy. They know the priority projects. And of course, I would encourage you to immediately see them. And they will certainly follow up. As I've said, when we talk about reform, the manner we conduct and act must also change. That is why in the cabinet, I've decided in terms of investments, Tengku Zafrul will help coordinate on behalf of all the other ministries. That would ensure not only the capacity to facilitate, but to accelerate the process. So please take up that opportunity to meet up with the officers and proceed beyond that. Thanks.
Thank you. So I would like to direct our attention to the left side, my left side, which is the right side of the hall. Please introduce yourself, where you're from, and your role now.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. I'm Zabidi Yusuf from Houston, Texas. I have two questions. One is our JCOM, your JCOM director just resigned. Who's the replacement? And second is, it looks like instead of the government of Perpaduan, lesser than 2/3, it's getting bigger now because with the not defection, I mean with the support of 4 MPs from Bersatu. Is it that the trend is there? Currently, more and more Bersatu's members of parliament will be supporting our prime ministers? That's to my question. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Nah, ya, pertamanya Ketua Pengarah JCOM sudah menulis kepada saya untuk meletakkan jawatan. Saya belum jawab secara rasmi, tapi saya maklumkan kepada Menteri Fahmi untuk menyatakan ya kita setuju dan kita akan lantik pengganti dalam secepat mungkin sebaik saja saya pulang. Keduanya soal Bersatu, ahli Parlimen Bersatu. Terima kasih. Saya belum buat apa-apa komen. Macam-macam tohmahan dilakukan. Ya. Ahli Parlimen melihat sendiri keadaan semasa. Mereka mencadangkan kononnya mereka punyai jumlah cukup untuk ambil alih kuasa. Mereka cuba kaitkan Raja, kaitkan Sarawak, kaitkan UMNO, tapi tidak berlaku. Sejak saya ambil alih bulan November, dia kata sebelum akhir tahun. Kemudian sebelum puasa akan ada peralihan. Kemudian sebelum raya. Kemudian dia kata bukan raya puasa, raya haji. Kemudian bulan Julai, kemudian bulan Ogos. Jadi ahli-ahli parlimen dia pun tahu sebenarnya ini temberang. Ya. Dan ini mengganggu proses pelaksanaan program-program dan keutamaan kita. Jadi bila dia begitu, ada beberapa orang cuba hubungi, saya elak sebab saya tidak mahu ditohmah. Jadi saya elak pertemuan, mereka menghubungi yang beberapa kawan lain, mereka mengatakan mereka setuju untuk memberikan sokongan kepada Perdana Menteri dan dasar kerajaan sekarang. Jadi saya terima baik. Jadi sekarang sudah 4. Mudah-mudahan ada lagi. Tetapi apa yang kita lakukan? Oh, dia kata ini cuma beli atau rasuah. Ya, kalau dia ada bukti, dia lapor kepada SPRM. Ya. Ini amalan mereka dulu, jangan ingat, jangan lupa. Langkah syaratan itu disebut dalam scheme of things, we will offer them, we will give them this. It's a known fact, but we did not. But they said, how is it that the moment they support Prime Minister, they get the allocation for the projects? That has been the arrangement even in the past. You sign a form of MOU with the government, the CSA, with the terms. There's extensive discussions between representatives of the opposition and the government, and we establish the parameters. It's not of right. These are not government allowance of the MP. These are projects for the rakyat. It's not for the MP. But the MP has an influence to decide what is the priority for the rakyat. So we say, since you support the government, then you have that allocation. And there's been the policy for decades. I mean, Tugu Zafrul was finance minister in the past. There's been the decision or the policy that we observe. So the moment you declare your support for the government, I mean, you support the budget, you support the policies, then you are given that allocation. Not to you. So there's a lot of confusion. They say, oh, suddenly Wakil Rakyat gets another 2.8 million. No. It is the project for the Rakyat, either roads or repairs or school project, whatever, you know. So I think that would continue. And I think it is a welcome move because they would also see the contradictions. Why do they oppose some elements within the government now, picking up the past issues involving some UMNO leaders? Oh, because they talk about past corruption, etc. I said, under my administration, the SPRM, the MECC, has full authority to investigate without bias. And I say, if it involves Prime Minister's office or ministers, it does not matter. The judiciary is independent. They made a decision. I have nothing to do with it. My personal view is different. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I think it's a bit too harsh. But notwithstanding my personal views, you must understand that the Prime Minister must not interfere in the judicial process. So there's no threat. But if you are corrupt and they go after you, don't say it is politically motivated. You prove yourself and defend in court. Yeah. I know what is judicial independence. I went through hell. It's not my intention, now that I'm Prime Minister, to punish the opposition. You may differ with me. You can be critical of me. I was very critical of the then Minister of Finance, Tugu Zafrul. But it's nothing personal. It's what my view is, what the government is all about. But you cannot abuse your power. You cannot amass wealth. Whatever criticism they levy against this government, and in front of you, I'm telling you one thing, I will never compromise. You cannot squander and steal from the public purse of this country. Because if you want to find out what is one central problem that we have, it's a problem of governance. Corruption has been not only endemic, becomes systemic. We have to stop the rot. It sounds easy, you think it's nice, but there are many of those warlords, the corrupt billionaires, who will be fighting against you. Don't be naive. But I have decided, this age, after more than 20 years in and out of prison, I have to do the right thing for the people and for this country.
Thank you. So we'll shift our direction to my right. In the interest of time, please keep your question concise. A bit of introduction of yourself and your question, please.
I ask my questions now?
Yes. Your time.
Thank you very much for the dinner, Mr. Prime Minister, Perdana Menteri. Saya nama Tan Eng Siu dari anak Pulau Pinang. Wherever we go, people ask us where you're from. We always say Malaysia. We never say, oh, I'm Chinese, I'm Indian, I'm Malay. Always Malaysia. My question is, will Malaysian government ever consider giving Malaysians overseas dual citizenship recognition? We are living in a borderless world now, so it's not a matter of patriotism or royalty or anything in that sense, but it's just a piece of paper for the convenience of people who make a living overseas. Thank you.
All right. If you do have a problem, then you tell us. All right? But countries have their own identity, their rules. Citizenship is what is accorded to a citizen. Now, there's been demand, of course, for those who've been living overseas, be convenient to them. I grant that. But citizenship is not a matter of convenience to a segment of a people. Citizenship must adhere to some fundamental rules laid down in our constitution. So for now, be patient. Okay? And if you don't encounter problems, I mean, that Nazri is here, and we will assist in whatever is necessary. For example, we want investors to come. We even give them multiple entry visa, for example. To me, it's not a problem. Or even resident permit is necessary. But citizenship is a very difficult decision. It's a decision that must be realized or achieved through a major consensus of all parties, including the Raja-Raja Melayu. That's the process. So for now, don't complicate matters. Just continue.
We still have Malaysia, my second home, right?
Yeah, that is also that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I would like to give opportunity on the left side to put forward your questions or ideas.
Hey, my name is Adam, and I'm a recent graduate from UC San Diego. So I currently moved to the city here to work at Twitch as a designer, and I've worked at Facebook and Tesla before. I've actually enjoyed like capturing the Malaysian element in everything I do. So I even emailed Elon Musk to like open Tesla in Malaysia before they open, but he didn't respond to me. So, so what I'm trying to ask here is, for someone who is a new grad or someone who wants to really be involved with getting the Malaysia spirit going, how do I start connecting with whether it's the Minister of Tech or Minister of Investment? Because even when, like just a quick anecdote, but I'm also like a national fencer. Like I played in the Asian Games, SEA Games. So even through the sports, I was very like in depth in trying to get the youth getting into sports, getting into all these things. So how can I do that as someone new into politics, since I'm only in tech right now? Yeah.
Come to the front. Come. You meet up with Tugu Zafrul there, ask him for his card and contact him. And if he does not respond in 3 days, you report to me. No, I'm serious. You please. Maida, you bagi card. Alright. Next.
Okay, next. I would like to give an opportunity to my right side to put forward your question. Please keep it concise.
and introduce yourself, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Datuk Seri. Nama saya Arif Ismail bin Ruslan. Saya pelajar tahun 2 Molecular and Cell Biology di University of California, San Diego. Jadi, one thing, kita semua perlu terima yang landscape politik di Malaysia ialah agama dan bangsa itu they're intricately woven. Kita tak boleh lari daripada agama dan bangsa, dan especially tentang Islam dalam landscape politik Malaysia, whether we like it or not. Jadi dengan pengalaman Datuk Seri yang banyak pengalaman dalam organisasi Islam, especially dalam Angkatan Belia Islam Malaysia ABIM, pada pendapat Datuk Seri, ada tak masa depan untuk politik Islam di Malaysia? Dan kalau ada masa depan pun in the first place, how will it look like? Jazakumullah khair.
Terima kasih. Soalannya ialah kita tak boleh nafi politik identiti kaum atau agama itu cukup menebal dan mempengaruhi. Ya, saya tidak nafikan. Dan memang ada perkembangan ke arah itu. Tetapi masalahnya apa? Apakah dalam merangka Madani itu tidak Islamik? Bahawa pandangan kita tentang kemampanan atau sustainability itu melibatkan soal nilai, soal akhlak, soal keyakinan dan kepercayaan. Bahawa jentera Islam kita tambah. Di antara hal yang pertama kita lakukan kerana kefahaman yang saudara bangkitkan tadi ialah menerbitkan Adabul Ikhtilafil Islam oleh Syekh Taha Jabir Al-Alwani. Banyak adab berbeza pendapat dalam Islam. Ethics of disagreement in Islam. Dia masih lagi pahaman Islam, tapi bedanya bukan melampau, bukan gulu, bukan gurur, bukan ekstrim, bukan menunjukkan menghina orang lain. Allah jadikan kita dalam hal perbedaan kaum ini, ya, itu untuk apa? Dalam Quran disebut lita'arafu, to know one another. Allah created us, ya, in different tribes. Ya. Itu is in order that one to know one another. Lita'arafu, not to tolerate one another, to know, which means to show appreciation. Okay, I'm a Muslim. I believe in Islam. For what? For justice, for compassion, for humanity. Not for discord. Not to preach hatred. Oh yeah, but there are many Muslims who preach hatred and discord. That is our battle. Our battle is to ensure that our understanding of Islam, including ethics of disagreement, appreciate the creation of Allah, not to sow the seed of discord, but to show compassion. What you believe in, I mean, I have no way I can compel you to accept my belief, my religion. I can persuade you, I can give you explanation, I can even introduce you to books, as I mentioned just now, ethics of disagreement. In Islam, if you disagree, there are ethics. You don't condemn, and abuse, and insult. Okay? Or slander people, which is now a practice. I disagree with you, then you are kafir. I disagree with you, you go to hell. Who gives you the authority? If that guy chooses to say that, then I'll tell him, you are not sure where you're going to. By the way you are reacting, it's very unlikely you're going to heaven. So, and then what is the second book, which became quite controversial? That is to encourage Muslim students to understand and read, of course, the Quran and the 40 hadith, the 40 traditions of the Prophet. Why did I encourage to do that? Because there's so much confusion. Everyone becomes an authority in their tazkirah, say whatever they like, and give their own judgment. and all mostly biased in favor of the so-called Islamic Party. So we have to then inculcate understanding, not to compel every single student, including non-Muslim students. But Muslim students must understand, otherwise they will be misled. But understand not according to my political philosophy, for what is the tradition of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So I think, if you ask me, that should be the future. The future is not this extreme version of understanding Islam. Can you project in 10 years? Non-Muslims now say 35, 40%. What do we do with them? We have to embrace them as part of this great family of a nation, Malaysia. Okay. So, please appreciate the fact that once we can remain Malay, I'm a proud Malay, mind you. I believe that the Malaysians, all Malaysians, without exception, must try and enhance their understanding and improve the level of proficiency in the Malay language, because it's our national language. But having said that, I also understand, in order for Malaysia to progress in business, in trade, in investments, we need to ensure that the level of proficiency of the English language must be further enhanced. And we need to do that through our education system. Again, it's not a zero-sum game. I'm for bahasa kebangsaan. I'm also for English as an important second language. Now the Chinese say no. Chinese language and Mandarin now is a language of business, particularly because of the advancement of China as a powerful economy. So I said, yes, what is the problem? Yeah. What is the problem of having a Malay or a Chinese, very proficient in Bahasa, very proficient in English, very proficient in Chinese, or Arabic, or French, or Tamil? Oh, macam Tamil, sensitive. So luckily I remember. Because there is one occasion I said, you must be proficient in Bahasa, and English, and Chinese, and French, and Arabic. I forgot Tamil. You see how sensitive Malaysians can be. So please, I have included Tamil now. No. So you ask me the future, you, the younger generation, have to decide. Anak muda harus menguasai, meningkat kefahaman bahasa agama mereka supaya masa depan itu lebih terkawal dengan pemikiran yang kritikal dan kreatif dan tidak dikongkong, dibelenggu oleh kalangan pelampau dalam kefahaman agama. Bila saya sebut begini, kita ni sudah anti-Islam. Hari-hari dalam ceramah, hari-hari di parlimen, kita ni tidak mendukung Islam, kita menyimpang Islam. Saudara, adakah ini cara dakwah? Ya, pertama, kita mengajar penipuan, mendunggang agama, ya, dengan memasukkan fakta dan mengelirukan rakyat. Dan saya jawab, selagi saya diberi mandat dan amanah sebagai Perdana Menteri, saya akan lawan gejala ini. Kerana gejala begini tidak akan menyelamatkan negara kita. Dan tidak diajar oleh agama. Agama Islam itu agama rahmatan lil alamin, yang menunjuk rahmat, kasih sayang kepada seluruh alam. Agama yang memberikan peluang, harapan, meningkatkan ilmu dan kefahaman kita, menunjukkan semangat kasih sayang di kalangan kita. So itu masa depannya, saya hanya mampu memberi laluan, anjuran pada peringkat sekarang. Masa depan itu ditentukan oleh generasi muda. Kalau mau menyelamatkan agama, menyelamatkan bangsa dan negara, ambil pendekatan yang bijak, waras dan sederhana. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Please, on my left side, introduce yourself and keep your question concise.
Selamat petang, YB. Thank you for being with us here today. My name is Gautam Jetwani, originally from KL. I'm a software engineer here in the city. Since you fought and struggled for us for so long to become PM, I'll give you an easy question. On Tuesday, you mentioned that not every Malaysian needs to come home. For us that choose not to come home, what can we do as the diaspora to best help the rakyat and develop the economy back home, other than sending money back?
You know why I said some of you need not come home? Because even if I say, please come home, some of you will stay. So the wisdom maybe is to be practical. I mean, you decide what is best. We can only encourage. I will strongly urge and encourage those of you who can come back and contribute. Please do so. But you can contribute from here. We had a discussion with the team just now. First, in your field of competence and expertise, you know the problems. You know what we are doing or what we seem to lack, okay, or a deficit in this area. Then you communicate with the relevant officers or political leaders. Then you identify what areas, like in terms of training, you know, IT, AI, in whatever area you believe from your limited experience now here that we need to improvise. Then you tell us. And if you have better capacity, then start identifying people and bring them and train them here. Not necessarily in the formal university discipline or education, but in your companies. So there are many areas that you can do. Then make sure you have hefty profit and send back home.
Should I also take Tengku Zafrul's card? Or?
No, no, he will pass some to Maida, but you can take it from him.
Okay. Yes. All right. I would like to direct our attention to the right side, Datuk Seri, for the next question.
Thank you. So my name is Ray. I'm a film student based in Los Angeles. And Mr. Prime Minister, thank you so much for having us tonight. So my question is, what's your view on racially centric policies and its impact to the brain drain issue faced by Malaysia? We have faith in you, and should we have hope in looking forward to more equal chance and reformation? Thank you.
Yeah. And you see, Berkeley, I did make a more elaborate reference to the discourse on affirmative action here in the States, including this brilliant piece by Cornel West. There are, of course, different views, but what we need to ascertain is this: to understand, as John Rawls have alluded to, we talk about justice. Justice is fairness. It's not just equality. It's just not meritocracy. Justice for a student in a premier school in Kuala Lumpur and a rural heartland school in Kapit. And you talk about fair competition. There's no fair competition. So you ask me, that student, child of ours, must give an additional assistance and support to be able to survive in a just democratic society. But do not discriminate or deny those who have excelled through their hard work and achieve impressive records and credentials. So we have to balance between the two, which means, for now, let us take Semenanjung, Peninsula Malaya, where we have had new economic policy for too long. We have to review the positive side aspects need to be retained. The leakages need to be discarded. What's the state now? Majority of the poor, exceeding 75%, are Malays. At the same time, we have to take note that there are pockets of poverty among Chinese, much smaller in number, which must not be ignored. Then, among the poor in Peninsula, from the EPU research, have ascertained that the ethnic Indians happen to be the poorest of the poor. So you ask me, what do? I say, continue with affirmative action. Majority of the Malays, which means some form of Malay assistance program, must continue. But make sure you do not ignore the plight of the poor ethnic Indians and Chinese. So it's more transparent. That's why I say need-based. Even for the Malays. The rich Malays, the son of a minister, should not be given a scholarship. Well, but what if he achieves extremely good results, merit on his own merit? Probably some consideration can be made. Okay, but otherwise, as a standard rule, the son of a farmer has to struggle to get a scholarship. The son of a minister takes preference. That's wrong. You see? So, it's a very delicate policy. It's not just saying, discard this or discard that. Get the parameters right. Look at the entire scenario. Get the facts right and move. And move with confidence. I can be criticized, but one thing I do not compromise. If you are poor, it's my responsibility. I shouldn't feel that I can sleep well at night knowing that my rakyat don't have enough money to buy milk for their babies. That is why I made, for the first time, a policy position that by the end of 2023, I don't want any one family, hardcore poor, to remain in Malaysia. We must tackle and deal with all hardcore poor families in Malaysia. Poor, yes, yeah, but hardcore poor. Yeah, we have done that. Did I say Malays or Chinese or Indians or Kadazan or Dayak? No. I said hardcore poor. You see, that's why some of the intellectuals, including among the ethnic Indians or Chinese, they still kept complaining, oh, but Anwar didn't say Tamil or Chinese or Indian. Come on, stop that crap and move with the times. We announced a policy this year to provide decent lavatories to all schools. I didn't say Malay schools or Chinese schools, Tamil schools, all schools. Can you understand what all means? And it is the first time. It's a transparent policy. So all schools, Malay, Chinese, Arabic, Tamil, whatever. I don't want our children to go to school with, without lavatories, or half the lavatories malfunction. And that's done. 8,660 lavatories repaired in 1 year. You see, but some of us, not only Malays, some Chinese, even some Indians, oh, you know, Anwar didn't do anything. He didn't say Tamil schools. Ayo, Karawali. When I say all schools lah. When I say all poor lah. Tak nak faham lagi macam mana. This is a new approach. This is a Madani approach. Transparent, clear, and the principle of justice. Terima kasih.
Thank you. All right. I know we're supposed to go from left to right, but one thing that I've observed, many of the questions came from the male audience. Oh. So I saw a couple of ladies at the back. So appreciate if the two ladies maybe could move forward to put forward your question first to Datuk Seri. Thank you, all the gentlemen, thank you.
Okay, hello, I'm Hamna. I'm from Sarawak. I just recently moved here 10 months ago. Yeah, to work here. I have two questions. One question is, what are Malaysia's hope for future economic cooperation with the US? And second question is, what is Datuk Seri's challenges in restoring Malaysia's growth, glory, including economic, social, and political?
What do you suggest? If you were to advise me, now the Prime Minister wants to hear. Okay, tell me.
I'm not sure. I want to hear your answer.
Now, okay, with the United States, I mean, first, we still continue to have not only cordial, but very good relations. As I said, cumulatively, US is the largest investor in Malaysia. You see the type of those days, Motorola to Dell, and you know, Dell has a very major facility in Penang, a major research and training center in Penang, for example. And that's how collaboration could continue. And even in foreign policy, many of the issues we share. But of course there are differences. We are an independent country. I said this morning in front of President Joe Biden, no group of countries, neither the West nor the East, nor the rich nor the poor, should dictate the language of discourse. Let us express ourselves freely. But what seemed to be positive is that, despite some differences of Palestine and Gaza, for example, we managed to meet all the top IT companies in the last few days, and of course Afrul and Fahmi able to meet more of them, and they seem to be very positive. Okay, but at the same time, because the stark realities of the present, we established a very good relations with China. And China is an important trading partner and investor into Malaysia. And the strategic partnership with China has to continue. Whether people here like it or not, to me it's immaterial because Malaysia is independent. And coming to the second question, I want to make sure that Malaysia not only evolve, but also be propped up to propel itself as an important, vibrant, economically, and successful as a nation. So I think you asked me about the future, I'm optimistic, but it depends what we do now. What needs to be done? Ensure good governance, stop the rot, stop the abuse of power, stop using power. Once you become Prime Minister, you've got to be very rich. You got to squander money from the public. This has to stop. And you have to stop from the top. You see? I'm not rich. I don't take salary. Why? But there is allowance as an MP, and I travel, paid for by the government, of course. So, just to give a signal to the Rakyat, that once you are given that responsibility, you are accountable to the Rakyat and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, with that message of good governance, stop this corruption. I believe, inshallah, as we have seen in the last few months, it's a remarkable achievement in terms of the investments. We went to China, to Middle East, Abu Dhabi and Riyadh. Everywhere we go, there's a new sort of level of confidence towards our economy, because politically we are stable. So that's why, in reference to the earlier question about other MPs coming in, I said they are welcome. No conditions attached. But you must accept the Madani philosophy, Madani economy, and accept the fact that we have to stop the way we were doing things in the past in terms of huge commissions and bribery and corruption. So if this can be resolved, hopefully, inshallah, we continue to do that. I believe in the next 2-3 years, you'll see a new Malaysia emerging.
Thank you. Thank you.
This month on TVN, Top Chef Pack returns to open a chain store in the city with the most Michelin restaurants. Tune in for the 2023 Mama Awards live broadcast and indulge in the power of music. Na PD is back with a brand new variety show where 4 actor buddies will try farming for the first time. This month, stay tuned to TVN.
Apa jua yang berlaku di sekeliling kita, pastinya ada punca dan kesan masing-masing. Faktor harga ekonomi, pengaruh politik dalam atau luar negara memberikan impak kepada kehidupan harian kita. Di Niaga Awani kami memberikan gambaran jelas melalui analisis mendalam, merentas pelbagai segmen dan latar belakang. Kami akan bantu anda untuk faham segalanya. Bisnes, ekonomi, pasaran, Niaga Awani, 9 pagi Isnin hingga Jumaat, hanya di Astro Awani.
Sedar atau tidak, dunia kini sedang menghadapi krisis tenaga elektrik. Sejak dari tahun 2021 hingga pertengahan 2022, kita menyaksikan kesan ketara kenaikan harga elektrik di seluruh dunia. Di Malaysia juga tidak terkecuali. Tetapi rakyat tidak pernah merasa sebarang kenaikan kerana subsidi yang diberikan berulang kali. Namun, sampai bilakah kita mampu bertahan? Sebagai pengguna, kita boleh membantu negara menangani krisis tenaga ini dengan menggunakan elektrik secara bijak dari sekarang.
Di dalam setiap berita yang dibawa, konteks amat penting. Cara kita mendapat berita kian berubah. Melalui media sosial maupun saluran digital yang lain serta kaca TV. Kami sentiasa membawakan yang tergempar dan terkini.
Ini perkembangan yang baru kami terima.
Berteraskan acuan verifikasi yang diamalkan supaya setiap fakta adalah sahih. Daripada analisis pelbagai sudut yang mendalam, laporan-laporan khas dan perbincangan yang membina negara. Inklusif, suara rakyat kami ajukan. Keseimbangan persepsi kami pastikan. Kerana setiap cerita mempunyai impak yang tersendiri dan perlu dibawa dengan penelitian yang terperinci. Pastikan Astro Awani menjadi pilihan anda tidak kira di mana sahaja anda berada. Saluran berita paling dipercayai di Malaysia.
Satu pencarian, 2 juara. Let's go. Mencipta kelainan. Let's go. Cabaran demi cabaran. Siapakah yang mampu bertahan?